love to see it. How was the drive, dude?
Not bad.
Yeah?
Got 2 codes.
What were the codes?
Oil level.
Oil level. I think I know why.
I know why. It's because
When it dumped all out, you never filled it back up.
well, no, I put in all that I had.
Yeah.
And then the car had to be like, there's no dipstick on the car, so it has to be running.
Yeah.
In order
For a
to
little
check it.
while.
And I think I was just too overwhelmed with the fact that I was just driving it that I completely forgot to check the oil.
Which is terrible.
Yeah. It was a quart low, so I guess there's worse things in life.
I mean, oil is important. But hey, man, I got a little present for you.
Damn, you even went to
Dude,
BMW.
I went all the way to Ridgefield for you, man.
Damn, that's sick.
You were like, yeah, I'll get cash. I'm like, I'm gonna go to the dealership for this guy.
Thank you.
Just because I want to see that thing running for a long time.
And my coolant, I got coolant pump speed deviation.
What's that mean?
Well,
It's going too fast?
No, I looked it up. Well, because it was weird. The car like bucked. Like it felt like possible like clutch slip or like a misfire. Like it literally just like nothing, and then it came back, and it was like super weird. And so I checked the codes, and then that was there, and I looked it up, and it said potential water pump, but I was like, the thing's brand new. I know it's not the water pump.
Yeah.
And then they said low coolant could also do it.
So would you just fill it back up, or you're gonna?
I checked the cap because I let it sit because I didn't want it to blow out all over me.
Yeah.
And it's a little low. So.
All right. So I mean, maybe you can just do that. Go through the bleeding process again.
You don't even have to go through the bleeding process.
Really?
Topping it up. I might just
for safety.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, not bad. That's a 20-minute drive, and for the 2 codes that are fixable easily, not bad.
I might take her to my girlfriend's tonight.
Oh, so man. I mean, you have to. This is the daily now, man.
That's the thing I was thinking, like, because I wasn't going to take it, but then I'm like,
what's stopping you at this
I gotta drive the
point?
thing anyways.
Let me ask you, how's
like,
your battery? Good?
Dude, it started up fine.
Perfect. So it wasn't dead for too long.
No, I'm thinking, like, because everything was just out of whack, like, it was just messing up.
Yeah.
I don't know. Doesn't really make sense.
But it's running great.
Now the codes are gone, and it's fine, yeah.
That's
the vibration is like weird. It like starts. It like I thought it simmered down a little. But or maybe I'm just learning how to drive with it. But it's literally only 2nd gear, and then 3rd gear under 2,000 RPMs. So it's like if I'm really bogging it.
In about a week, this dude's gonna not even care about the vibration.
No,
you're not gonna care.
No, because I want to be able to punch it in 2nd. You can't punch it in 2nd.
Yeah, no, I feel that. But hey, 135 is running. He's dailying it. With the day he doesn't drive it here, I'm gonna make notice of that.
What do you mean?
Just the day you don't drive it, you have to keep driving that thing. You got to get the miles under the belt so we can put that thing on the dyno and stuff.
No, I know that, and that's why I was like, why would I not drive it?
Yeah, there's no reason at this point.
I have to get the 500. I think it's just more in the sense of it's kind of far out of the way. If something were to happen,
we got a trucking trailer. We'll figure it out.
Exactly,
but we got some stuff going on in the shop, so let's get there. All right, guys, so we didn't film any of this just because it's 370Z maintenance, but we're gonna be going drifting soon. So we got the oil change all done. We got new GK Tech spacers in the front because you guys knew I was rubbing, so that's all good. We got ARP extended studs in the front as well, so that's good. Did a bolt check all around, front end, rear end, all good to go there. And now we have all of the E30 parts that we're just gonna throw in the bed of my truck so I can bring it to my big trailer and just put this all in for storage, because we just have so many parts everywhere and so much stuff and not enough storage. Like my whole storage unit is full to the brim, and I'm just such a hoarder. I can't, Will, like what's wrong with me? I can't get rid of anything.
I'm a hoarder too, so.
Yeah, you're also a hoarder, so you don't blame me.
Like in the sense of like, you get a nice Mako tool, comes in a cool box. Like I'm a butthurt, I'd want to keep the cardboard box.
I used to do that with all my Xboxes, PlayStations. I
still have my PlayStation 4 box up in my
and
car.
for no reason. Like, what are you ever gonna do with it?
Nothing. My snowboard boots, I just stacked it all up because it's like all the cool things you bought. You want to keep the box.
Yeah,
like,
it is weird. Throw it down in the comments if you're like that, because we can't be the only people out there.
My girlfriend yells at me all the time. She's like, "You're such a hoarder." I'm like,
yeah, it's like a problem because then you're cleaning up. You're like, oh, do I really throw this out right now? And sometimes you just got, like when I was moving from Florida, I just started chucking things. But I tried to keep a lot.
Cleaning a fun time because then you're cleaning and then you're
you find things.
Oh shit, yo, I found this old like something from when I was a kid, and then I'll just start playing with it.
Dude, back in the day, like my friends like Brendan, for example, he used to love to come over when I was cleaning my room because like we'd clean out my closet and I'd just find things that I never even knew that I had. And I'm like, Brendan, you want this? You want this? He's like, yeah, I'll take that. I'll take that. I'm like, yeah, just take it. Get it out of here. We got to clean this up. So, yeah.
This whole thing?
Yeah, sure. You didn't pour some of that, did you yet?
No.
Okay, good. Yeah, just pour that whole thing. How much did we have in for the oil?
Just a...
No, did you check it yet?
No.
What? Okay, yeah, we're gonna load all this stuff. Speaking about hoarding, so I got this blown up Miata, part of the MB part out. He just threw this engine in because he just needed to get rid of everything. I just took it for like things like this and the crank pulley, all of the bolts, so I can throw it in my zinc pile and just get it zinced, because might as well take all the oil pan bolts, have another oil pan because it's not cracked or anything. And yeah, just more hoarding parts that I need to store that may or may not ever get used, but it's nice to have all this stuff if you ever run into a problem, you know? If we do run into that problem, great. We probably won't, but we may. This is crazy. I ordered GK Tech spacers, and in the box they gave me this GTR air freshener. Dude, it's got the LMG T2s and everything. This literally looks like my GTR.
I know, I saw it, and I had to look at it more because I saw like...
This is going in the GTR. It has to.
It has to. Smell
Tommy's gonna be like, you're
it's not even
nicer.
It's not black ice either. It smells good.
Ooh,
yeah.
It's like fruity.
Yeah, it's like it's like a blackberry.
That's interesting. Dude, this just sparked some ideas for some merch right here.
Dude.
Right? This is sick.
I don't know why you haven't been doing air fresh.
Listen, man, we have a lot in the works, okay? What sticker do you want to show me? This one? Oh, yeah, that is sick.
Super cool.
I'm about that. About that. Shout out to all the sponsors right here. This is the sponsor wall, actually. Except that, Samco, I've never worked with them, but everyone else I've worked with. Yeah. Vape Stain, great sponsor.
Awesome sponsor.
Tommy turned me into a big bulk guy. Big bulk guy here. All right, guys, so we didn't film much at all today. I really wanted to just focus on cleaning and organizing the shop because from the coupe and just tearing apart like 3 or 4 cars, it just turned into an absolute nightmare. We were able to kind of make it a lot nicer. Obviously, it's still like hectic in here just because we have a lot of parts. We have a lot of stuff like going on that we just need to get done and stuff. So, yeah, there's a lot of clutter, but the toolbox is completely clean. We reorganized up there and stuff. We got the GTR in indefinitely. The Evo can now drive, so we can push her or drive her in and out. I totally set up the office, reset up my office just because there was a bunch of clutter and it wasn't very motivating in here. So, we got the Peloton. I've been going on the Peloton for the past 2 days. Hopefully I stick to it. It's hard as hell to want to get on this thing just because it's so hard. But yeah, no, it looks pretty nice. Got all the souvenirs up here. Pretty cool, pretty cool, pretty cool. But I don't know. I'll pick up this video when I decide to do something actually cool. Mid-afternoon right now. I ain't gonna lie to you guys. I really wasn't gonna get out of bed today. Ankle is super swollen, just doesn't want to work. But good old FedEx decided to come drop some parts off, and these boxes right here kind of changed my mind. So let's head to the shop. We got a lot of work to do. Do on an ankle brace. We're ready to roll. We can suck it up. All right, guys, we're in my favorite film spot right now, but there was 2 things that was holding up my turbo E30 build. Number 1 is in this box right here. Let's open her up. Woo! Look at this puppy. This is my OBD2 wiring harness for my M52 into my 87 E30. I am stoked on this thing, so we're gonna dress it all up onto the engine today and get it ready to actually go into the car. I just found it way more easier to wait for this thing rather than put the engine in the car and then have to deal with like plugging it all in and routing it all inside the car. So definitely stoked I decided to wait it on that. Stoked! Now before we put the engine harness onto the engine, we get the engine in the car, we needed one last thing, and that's in this box right here. That was extra. All right, so we got the ABS delete kit over by Chase Bays. Super stoked on this. Literally just a quick Google search and we found it. Doesn't really come with much, but really we just have to delete the ABS, and this is gonna make the engine bay look so much cleaner and just get rid of that stupid ABS module that no one really cares about. So we're gonna actually start with that because I would like to get the engine completely ready to be dropped into the car today. And first step is putting those ABS delete lines in. So let's get it. All right, guys, so we successfully got the Chase Bay ABS Delete kit in. Everything went pretty smooth, and we're moving on to the next project. Oh, the gimbal. So I'm kind of debating on what I want to do. I want to get this engine in the car as soon as possible. I don't really know the plan of attack, though. I don't know if I want to do engine and trans at the same time. I don't know if I want to just do engine. I was talking to Spencer because he's dropped a ton of M52s into cars before, and I don't know. He's telling me one way, I want to do it another way. I don't know. Let's get the injectors in, let's get the harness on, let's button all of that stuff up, and we'll go from there. I don't really know how far I'm gonna get tonight. I'm just kind of just relaxing, putting parts on, taking parts off, you know what I mean? And trying to just move in the right direction because I want to get this car done as soon as possible. So we're just gonna keep on grinding. We got the harness right here. Just got to grab the fuel rail injectors and just start figuring out how this thing goes together. Because to be quite frank with you, I got no idea. All right, so not terrible. I made it a whopping 45 seconds until I ran into a problem. So I wasn't aware that M50 and M52s have different fuel rails. And this is an M52 with M50 intake manifold. So it's got the M50 fuel rail as well. So this is an OBD2 harness, meaning this is for an M52. So the problem is here, I can't plug this in because, here, let me get this set up. I can't get it plugged in because you can see these tabs right here are actually stopping me from pushing the fuel rail harness on. So you can see on the OBD1 harness, it has those little tabs to kind of bolt it to the fuel rail and kind of make it stay in place. I guess we're just gonna cut those tabs off. I don't really know what else we can do. I don't see it really being a problem, to be honest with you. It seems the OBD2 harness doesn't have anywhere for it to bolt anyways, so it seems like it kind of just plugs in and sits there. I don't know. I've actually never worked on an M52. I've had two E36s. Both of them had LSs in them, so I'm very new to the M52 life, but we're learning as we go. Not a big deal. I'm just gonna cut those and file them smooth, and we'll see what the next problem is. All right, guys, well, we have good news and we have bad news. Good news is we got the wiring harness on, we got the new DKM twin disc clutch on. All of that is all set. I was gonna put the transmission on, but before I did that, I wanted to go ahead and I wanted to put the turbo manifold on because I noticed how many bolts. Turbo manifold, there's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24 freaking nuts in this turbo manifold. And I was like, there's no way I'm getting this done in the car. There's no way. Cause like literally just getting them in out of the car has been kind of difficult just because it wouldn't be as difficult if all of the studs kind of stayed with the head, but a lot of the nuts and the studs came out together, and you kind of have to like hold the manifold and like thread it in at the same time, because if the manifold is all the way pressed up against the head, you can't fit the stud in there. So it's been a challenge, and I got 25 of them perfect, and the 26th one, I thought it was threaded in, but apparently it wasn't, and I started to tighten the turbo manifold from in to out. And as I was tightening it, I noticed there was some force, so I started looking around, and I noticed one of the studs were kind of bent in the head a little bit. And I was like, oh, God damn it. So I pulled the 4 center nuts in the middle of the turbo manifold back out so I can kind of slide it back a little bit, pulled it out, and it seems that it stripped the head just a tiny bit. Like, it's not that big of a deal because I have a tap set. Like, we can easily tap it. The annoying thing is, I gotta take all these damn nuts out. I don't think you realize how annoying it was to actually get these things in. It was an absolute pain, and now I gotta take them all back out and do it over again. So I don't know. It's 11 o'clock right now. To be honest, I don't really want to deal with it, but we got the harness on. Coil packs are all plugged in. The only thing that I didn't do was I have to add this to that ground right there, but everything seemed to be pretty self-explanatory. Everything kind of just went where it was supposed to. When the car does run and stuff, I do want to like probably pull the intake manifold off, zip tie things, like make things nice, because right now it's kind of a rat's nest. It was my first time ever doing an M52 harness. I didn't really know where things went. I was kind of just guessing and kind of just plugging things in and seeing how it went. And it's together. It's just a little messy. Like, yeah, you can see it's a freaking hellhole down here, and I'm pissed about it. But I really just want to see if this thing's gonna run. I mean, it should run. Once it runs, we can pull, because regardless, I have to pull the valve cover off anyways, because I am gonna retorque my head studs after a full heat cycle. So after the full heat cycle, what we'll do is we'll pop the valve cover off, we'll tighten those ARP head studs, we'll take the intake manifold off, and we'll really just kind of clean up that engine harness because it just looks bad. And once it's all cleaned up and stuff and things are ran like the correct way, it probably will be a lot easier kind of to deal with. A weird thing I did notice, once again, I'm not this big BMW guy, there's no actual plug for the alternator. There's only a positive and a ground. Like usually there's like a little plug that you plug in with the harness, but there's none. So that was new to me. I've never seen that. Big shout out to FCP Euro for hooking it up with the DKM clutch. Super stoked on that. Super easy install. This DKM clutch actually came with red Loctite, blue Loctite, pilot bearing, you name it, it had it all. So very, very, very nice setup. Very stoked about that. I looked it up. This clutch is good for 600 foot-pounds of torque, so I don't really think we're gonna be hitting that, so that's definitely good. But honestly, other than that one stud stripping out, everything went really nice. I do want to put the engine in. I'm not putting the engine in until that turbo manifold is fully on, because to do that in the car like seems to be a death wish. Like if I was like really pissed off at Will, I'd be like, dude, take that turbo manifold out of the car. You know, like that's like sending someone to hell. So definitely don't want to do that, but definitely stoked on tonight's progress. Like, to be honest, I didn't get like a ton done because I didn't really, I didn't show you this either. We cut the fuel rail, those little tabs, so that's all good now. The OBD2 harness now fits. I mean, didn't want to do it, but you kind of do what you got to do, right? But as I was saying, overall, very happy with the progress. Not a crazy amount, kind of was just learning as I went. But at the same time, I wasn't even gonna come here today, so any progress is better than zero progress, right? So, I don't know, we're gonna end that right here on this note. I'm gonna put this thing on the ground and start it up tomorrow afternoon. I finally got a sim set up, so all day I've been thinking about just racing on the Nürburgring, drifting in a Assetto, and yeah, I'm gonna go home and do that, because it's already 11 o'clock, and yeah, I'm gonna go. See ya. Also, before I forget to tell you guys, because I completely forgot, yes, I torqued down my knock sensors. 15 foot-pounds is what I read online, and they're torqued, ready to go. Don't worry about it. All right, now see ya.